What's up, what's up, what's up? Going live right now. What's up, what's up, what's up, world? It's your boy Chuck with Ills, aka Charles Brown, back again with another what? Talking facts. We just talk about the facts only. The facts only. First, I gotta ask, how you doing? Are you good? Good. All right, man. So, I told you, 2019, crazy. Crazy right now, bro. It's crazy out here in these streets. I told you every day is something to talk about in 2019 in this hip hop life that we call the streets of the hip hop business or whatever you want to call it. But yo, so hip hop, man, hip hop. I've been in love with hip hop for, man. Come on, the 80s, bro. The 80s, late 70s hip hop. That's what it is. That's my life. That's me. I watched it grow and change. I watched battle rap grow and change. I watched regular rap grow and change. I watched commercial rap grow and change. Breakdance, and I seen that grow and change and go under, come back up, go under, come back up. All of that. I watched DJs be the front line, then go to the back. I watched all that. I watched CEOs become artists. Artists become CEOs. It's a crazy game out there. There will always be something that I have not seen. And every time I think I've seen it all, I have not seen it all. That is a fact. I've not seen a hip hopper commit suicide. Rest in peace to Tech Nine, the battle rapper. And the narrative changed on a dime to what the reason was. Now, if you're new to this channel or you never watched Nothing I Do, this is all just conversation. There's no disrespect to anybody. We're just talking. I just want to have a conversation. Me and you, whoever's listening, we can just talk about these things. Nobody got to have no, you know what I'm saying? They got to feel a kind of way. We just talking. I'm asking questions. Talking facts is just asking questions. And I'm asking a question right now because it's looking kind of crazy out here about the battle rapper Tech Nine. It's reports coming out saying that he had charges of child assault, sexual assault, child endangerment, and I believe child pornography. So let's peel back the layers of that. So Tech Nine is a battle rapper from Philly. I'm out of the battle rap thing like that. I'm not as in tune as I used to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have some favorites that I would love to see battle. Outside of that, I don't really check for a lot of guys. I check for local guys that's here, but other than that, so I'm not all that familiar with Tech Nine. And when the name popped up, most people thought it was the other Tech Nine. But it wasn't the other Tech Nine. It's the Tech Nine, the battle rapper from Philly, who is very highly regarded. A lot of major artists were sending condolences and shouting him out, such as Kendrick. And others were making, statements on his behalf. That may have been a week ago. So, the next week it comes out that Tech Nine, the battle rapper from Philly, not to be confused with the other Tech Nine from, I believe, Detroit or something like that. I'm not sure where Tech Nine, Kansas City, I don't know where he's from. Anyway, so he apparently was, the day that he committed suicide, he apparently was supposed to go to, I believe, a preliminary trial or something to that effect to face the charges. I believe he had a $50,000 bond or something to that degree, whatever the case may be. Now, what they're saying is this guy, they're not saying much about who did what or who the minor was it female, male. They're not saying all that. It is what it is. So we don't know all that. Now, with that being said, we don't know the reason why he committed suicide. But we can all assume that it was because he had these charges. You know what I'm saying? So if you're putting two and two together, you're like, it makes perfect sense. He didn't want to face the world with these charges. He didn't want this to be on his legacy or whatever while he was alive, so he didn't stick around for it. But it could have been anything. Now let's play devil's advocate. It could have been that it was a young girl that he didn't know her age. You know what I'm saying? And he took some pictures of her on his phone. And you know how dudes do, they send them to their man. Once you send that picture of that minor, it's a wrap. Once you take the picture, it's a wrap. So if she's a minor and he didn't know, I'm just saying. I don't know. The darkest thoughts are that he took it to some child that was 6, 7 years old. Those are the darkest, deepest thoughts. He took pictures of a child. You know what I'm saying? That we don't know that. So I'm going with the plausible explanation of why a man of this stature, who's achieved so much in battle rap and in his career, to have this many people sending condolences and shouting him out, he must have been very good at what he does. So if you're very good at one thing that makes you exceptional, why would you choose to commit this kind of a heinous act unless it was an accident? You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know. Now, to play devil's advocate again, if it was a girl that you thought was 19, 20, she turned out to be 15, that's not enough to... You could go to trial for that. You know what I'm saying? You can go to trial for that. So I get it that you don't want to be known as that or whatever, but look, Tekashi just beat that. Not gonna say beat it, but you know what I'm saying? The evidence was whatever. So you don't necessarily do time all the time for statutory rape. Sometimes you do. It's a rapper in a Mexican rapper, very big down in the Midwest, and I think he got like 30 years for having sex with a kid. Facts. And if you look it up, I can't remember his name right now, but he had huge records back in the 90s. Huge records. The guy was on Vlad TV describing the guy's charges. I cannot remember this rapper's name to save my life right now. But he caught a mean beef and caught like 20, 30 years for a charge for sex with a minor, because I guess the girl got pregnant or whatever. So it happens, but it depends on, it's a case-by-case basis most of the time. You don't just, it's not across the board, you're going to do mad time. So what I'm saying that to say this. If it was indeed a young female that looked older and, you know, accidents happen or what have you, or maybe he knew she was kind of young but he never asked. That's personal opinion. That's not enough to commit suicide. It just doesn't make sense. We're dealing with common sense right now. If you did something with a chick that was 15, 16, 17 years old, you didn't know her age and she lied or whatever, or you thought it was whatever, or even if you knew when you did it, it's still not, you can defend that. You know what I'm saying? You can defend that in a court of law. You can state your case, and then you can go to trial. You could possibly beat it, or you can take a plea deal, do 3 years. It's not enough to off yourself. So if we're dealing with common sense, and I'm saying that it's not enough if it's a female that's over 15, 16 years old to off yourself, depending on what you did to her. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how heinous you were to the girl. But if it was just a casual thing, y'all had whatever kind of affairs, sexual whatever, and it was like grown-up stuff, and you thought she was whatever, she consented, that's something that you could fight in court. Now, you may do a year or two, you may do a couple years and come out and you got to register as a sex offender. Maybe that's too much for a person to have on their conscience or what have you. But I'm going to say the normal, average human being, the normal man in this society is not going to just off himself for having sex with an underage girl. Anything can happen. They could mess up the case. The cops could have not read you your rights. The lawyer could pull something out of a hat. You don't know. You take that to trial and see how far you can get before you take a plea. You don't off yourself, in my opinion. So we got to start thinking like if Tech Nine, if he had something deeper and darker than this, and we don't know what it was, but it was so dark to make you commit suicide, then what could it be? You know what I'm saying? What could it be? It could be anything. Could it be pedophilia? Could it be something like the Michael Jackson stuff that they're saying, or what have you? We don't know. Nobody knows. But what I do know is it's very serious for you to off yourself in this situation. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what he was going through mentally. He had a lot going on, a lot of stress behind the situation. That's very stressful. That's very stressful. That's a lot to deal with. And, his family had to deal with it, and whoever was his significant other. That's very tough. We don't know the details. They're going to all come out at some point. But if he was a pedophile and he felt that he was sick, you know what I'm saying? Some pedophiles kill themselves because they feel like they can't be helped. Sometimes they kill themselves because they feel like they can't face the world with this problem. They feel like they don't want to hurt another child. Depending on the child's age, he could feel distraught. He could feel distraught of what he's done. The guilt could be eating him up. We don't know. But logically, I'm going to go with logic, and it feels like logically, if you have this stuff on your head where you feel like a monster that can't be helped, and you've hurt this kid or more than one kid, who knows? But when they bring you up on child pornography, that's a whole different animal. You know what I'm saying? That means you have pictures somewhere stashed some kind of way. And these guys got to stop just taking these videos and these pictures, man. For real. All these years, it amazes me every time I see somebody go down for child pornography. It'd be these famous people. It'd be like these state officials and all this. It'd be judges and lawyers and stuff like that get the IP address gets traced to their house. That's a sick person who can't help what they're doing, bro. It is a fact. So if you know they're constantly searching the internet for this stuff to be traveling, they're searching for this. They're searching for every computer it goes to. But you still somehow think you're going to be the one to get away with it. Almost every week, somebody's on the news. They got caught for this, got caught for that. And rightfully so. So what I'm saying is, with what we know, like the charges are just in and of themselves, they're heinous. Michael Jackson had charges, same kind of charges. But Michael went to trial, Michael beat it. A lot of people thought Michael was going to commit suicide. When it started getting really thick, it's a fact. If you remember, people thought Michael was going to commit suicide. It is a fact. We were scared that Michael might not make it through the trial. He was looking rough, bro. Remember the video where he, you know what I'm saying, y'all ghostly looking, and he's talking about he ain't do it. He got vitiligo, all that. Everybody thought he was out of here. But he didn't. He lasted another 20-something years, I think. So I say that to say this. When you are sick, when you're sicker than just a mistake with a little bump and grind with something that you didn't know, it was, I didn't know her age. That's when it gets deep and dark inside your head. That's when you feel like this can't go on. I can't go on with this. This is not getting any better. And I feel horrible about what I've done to these children, this child or these children or what have you. And it's usually somebody close to the person. You know what I'm saying? Somebody in the family. Everybody got that uncle that did this or that because they need access to kid. They're not doing it to strangers, kids, for the most part. So it's somebody close. It's a fact. So you're feeling like I just did XYZ to my niece, cousin, sister's daughter, whatever, and got Court. Now I got to face all of them in court. Because they coming to the trial. Now I got to face all of them in court. Now I got to try to defend this and try to win this. That's a lot. If you did indeed do something to your family's member, that's a lot to try to process and put on your head. It almost is, could be looked at as too much. It's too much. And what I'm going to say is, like, if a person takes their own life based on these type of charges, you could almost say for certain that it's a pedophile feeling in them. Now, I don't know for a fact, and I keep saying that all of this stuff is alleged. These are charges of whatever. He could have killed himself for something completely different. You know what I'm saying? But we just having a conversation. I don't know what happened. I don't know why he felt this way. But I do want to say rest in peace to the bro, because I don't know the facts of why he did it. But this is hip hop, bro, and we talking hip hop. Anything hip hop. If you want your name to be buzzing when you popping, and everybody talking about you when you popping, we're gonna talk about you when you catch a charge for child molestation. We talking about you. It is what it is. You're not now all of a sudden exempt from the conversation because now you looking crazy. No, it don't work like that. We're just having a conversation. Is Tech9 a pedophile? I don't know he's a pedophile, but it ain't looking good. How about that? I don't have the 100% answer, but if you're going to go off common sense, it ain't looking good. And I'm not, you know what I'm saying, throwing dirt in this man's name. We just having a conversation. I would love to believe that it was a little encounter with some female that didn't tell her age, or he knew her age and he was like, oh, you close enough, you consent, and you 17. You know what I'm saying? 17, you almost 18. There's a lot of grown men that do that. A lot. A lot of them don't go to jail. A lot of them don't get caught. A lot of them end up, I know teachers who've done that to students. You know what I'm saying? Did not go to jail. Fact. So it's not uncommon, is what I'm trying to say. It's not uncommon. This stuff happens. So I don't really, the word pedophile, that's reserved for really harsh, like, priests who got 13 victims and people who are like old perverts who go around the neighborhood and lure kids into their home, and they got 5 kids they did it to, or they kidnapped some kid and he got them locked up. Pedophile is harsh. That's a harsh word. I don't want to put that on nobody without the information or the, you know what I'm saying, the facts. So I just thought it was an interesting topic to talk about, because it seems like really nobody's really touching it. They just staying away from it, which is fine. What I do here, I touch topics, I talk about them. It ain't no offense to anybody, but I'm just talking about what people are thinking in the first place. So I'm not going to do much more talking about this. Is Tech9 a pedophile? I'm going to leave that up to you, because none of us know. But I just wanted to put it out there because people aren't discussing this. And I think this needs to be discussed. You got your boy Hassan Campbell, who was molested by African Bambaataa, and he talks about it all the time. He's actually becoming one of the biggest YouTubers out here because he goes at child molesters. People don't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? People don't talk about it. People let this stuff go under the rug. Like, soon as the word came out that this dude had charges of child pornography, it was like, oh, we're not going to talk about it. People are afraid. They're afraid to touch it. I haven't seen any YouTubers talking about it. I'm sure somebody did somewhere, but I haven't seen anyone touch this. I haven't seen anyone touch this topic. They're afraid to stir up something that makes somebody whatever. But this is not about that. This is about reaching people who need to know that this is out there. This is not right. And you can be a well-known rapper and still be not right. So on that note, I'm gonna wish the best for whatever child, whoever it happened to. Hopefully they can get the help they need and recover from this, situation that happened in their life, because this stuff lasts a lifetime. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's not even really about him at this point no more. It's about whatever happened to that child. My name is Chuckwick Ills, a.k.a. Charles Brown, back again tomorrow with another one. I got some more topics. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Do it or don't, it's up to you. I'm going to catch y'all on the flip, man. Peace.